Hey guys, this is Dr. Brown here with Kubo Math coming to you from Tarlac City, Philippines. And tonight we have a Chapter 3 review in Algebra 2. So there's just 5 problems we're going to work. Well, you'll see. They're not bad. All right, let's get after it. Okay, we have the square root of 24 plus the square root of 150. How do we simplify that? Well, we can take the square root of 24 and say that's 4 times 6. Plus square root of 150, we could say, well, that's 15 times 10. Okay, so we have the square root of 6, or square root of 4 times 6. So let's just go ahead and simplify that one. Square root of 4 is 2, so we have 2 square root 6. Plus, we can rewrite 15 as 3 times 5. We can rewrite 10 as 2 times 5. Now let's take those 5s and multiply them together. So 5 times 5 is 25 times 3 times 2, which is 6. So now we have 2 square root 6 plus square root of 25 is 5. So 2 square root 6 plus 5 square root 6 equals 7 square root 6. I have 2 of something and 5 of something. That gives me 7 of something. So don't let that square root throw you off. But you can only add those square roots together when they're the same. So keep that in mind. Okay. All right, one down. Now then, we have another problem where we're going to do some factoring. Oh, and I should say this, is when we're working these problems, when you see the problem, just pause the video and try to work it and then come back. That would be the best way to challenge yourself to see if you can do these things. So in a lot of your textbooks, you'll see a problem set up like this, where it's some quotient divided by something else. Well, take all of that and rearrange it to where you have it underneath each other. Let me move my camera or I'm not falling off the screen here. Okay. Sorry for the big light behind me. Okay. All right, we've got a squared minus 16 divided by a squared minus a minus 12 divided by a squared plus 4a divided by 2a. So now it's a complex fraction. So what to do about that? Well, let's look at each piece individually. A squared minus 16 is the difference between two squares. A squared minus 4 squared. So we know that equals a minus 4, a plus 4. Okay. Now what about this one? We have a squared minus a minus 12. Well, from our factoring that we've done in the past, let's draw ourselves a grid. If you factor a squared, that's a times a. What about 12? That's 12 times 1, 6 times 2, 4 times 3. But I need something that when I add it together, it gives me a minus a. So I have a minus 4 and a positive 3. Gives me, when I multiply them, gives me a negative 12. But if I cross multiply here, minus 4 times a is minus 4a. And then positive 3 times a is a positive 3a. If I add a negative 4a plus a positive 3a, I get a negative a. So a times a is a squared, negative a minus 12. So that gives me what I needed here. So this is a minus 4 times a plus 3. So it's a minus 4, a plus 3. Okay, let's go back up here. We have the a minus 4, a plus 3. Now that's divided by, if we factor the a squared plus 4a, we're just factoring a out, a times a plus 4 divided by 2a. Well, let's go ahead and cancel those a's out. Clears the spot here to work. Now then, what do we have here? A minus 4 over A minus 4, that cancels. So I'm left with A plus 4 divided by A plus 3 divided by A plus 4 divided by 2. Well, now we can invert and multiply. For the sake of space, I'm just going to do it here. And then I'll erase this guy. So the A plus 4's cancel, and I'm left with 2 over A plus 3. See, it looks complex here, but if it's just like eating the elephant. You can't eat the entire elephant in one bite. You have to nibble along and just break it down. When in doubt, do what? Factor. That's the key to all of this, or a lot of it anyway. Okay. Now then, let's get these out of the way. Now we have a few word problems. Tyler, that's hard to read. Tyler, he was taking a test, and he answered correctly. What he answered correctly was 4 more than twice his incorrect answers. Twice, 4 more than twice incorrect. I'm going to do this the way the 5th graders and 6th graders here at one of the local schools do. I think this is pretty cool. They would say, okay, that's correct. That's how many questions he answered correctly. And then we know that it says that this was the incorrect. He had 4 more than twice the incorrect, and that was how many he had gotten correct. So if you graphically do this, twice the incorrect plus 4 gives me correct. Oh, well now I have an equation. Correct equals twice incorrect plus 4. How about that? Okay, now let's keep reading. The ratio of correct to incorrect was 8 to 3. So it's saying the correct to incorrect was 8 to 3. Well, what is correct? Correct is 2i, 2 times the incorrect, plus 4 over incorrect. So that's correct to incorrect. And that's supposed to equal 8 to 3. So let's cross multiply here. 8 times I would be 8i. And that equals 3 times 2i would be 6i. 3 times 4 is 12. Well, if I subtract 6i from both sides, that gives me 2i equals 12. Divide 2 on both sides. I equals 6. So the number of incorrect is 6. So if I take that information back up here, 2 times 6 is 12 plus 4 is 16. So the number, will go up top here, number correct is 16, the number of incorrect is 6. Well, I thought it was supposed to be 8 to 3. Hey, let's reduce. Okay, what is 16? Well, it's 2 times 8. What is 6? 2 times 3. Hey. 2's cancel, and I end up with that is in fact 16 over 6 is a ratio of 8 to 3. I do like though how some of the students here draw a graphic and then the equation just jumps out at them. They'll call it 1 unit and then solve for the unit. Okay. All right, Bill's garden. Here's number 4. Bill's garden is 2 yards more than 4 times its width. 2 yards more than 4 times its width. The area overall is 30 square yards. Now, if you don't like yards as a unit of measurement, just put meters, whatever your units might be where you live. Okay. Garden is 2 more than 4 times its width. So if that's the width, same concept as before. Okay, we have, if this is my width, that would be my width, right? So it had 4 widths. So there's 4 widths. 1, 2, 3, 4. Plus 2 yards. And that's the length of my garden. So what does that mean? The length is 4 times the width plus 2. Length equals 4 times the width plus 2. And the width just equals the width. Well, what is the area? Length times width. So area then would be 4 W plus 2, that's my length, times W, which is the width. So area would be, if I run this, distribute this to the inside, 4W squared plus 2W equals the area. Well, the area they said was 30 square yards, so it was 30. So if I subtract 30 from both sides, that equals 0. Uh-oh, now we need to factor again. We're trying to solve for W and ultimately get length so we can get the dimensions of the garden. So when in doubt, do what? Factor. Okay, 4W squared could be 2W times 2W. I need to get some factors of negative 30, 6 times 5, that when added together with all of this, there's a difference of 2. Let's try that, 6 and 5, but it has to be positive, so this needs to be positive and that can be negative. All right, so positive 6 times 2W gives me 12W, 12 width. Minus 5 times 2W gives me minus 10W. Add those together, I get a positive 2W. Negative 5 times positive 6 is negative 30. And these multiplied together give me 4W squared. And it's exactly what I wanted. So what do I end up with here? 2W plus 6 equals 0. And 2W minus 5 equals 0. Well, I should have put that here. 2W minus 5 equals 0. Okay. Well, let's subtract 6 from both sides. So 2W equals negative 6. Divide both sides by 2. The width equals minus 3. Well, I can't have a negative width, so this has no meaning. So let's add 5 to both sides. 2W equals 5. W then, if I divide both sides by 2, W would equal 5 halves. So 2.5 yards. So 8 feet or so, something like that. So 5 halves. So that works. All right. So if W is 5 halves, 5 over 2, 4 times 5 over 2 would be 20 over 2, which is 10. 10 plus 2 is 12. W is 5 halves. All right, we need length times width is my area. Remember the area was 30 square yards. So if I have 12 yards and 5.5 yards, or 5 over 2, so 5 over 2 times 12, 12 times 5 is 60, 60 divided by 2 is 30. So the dimensions of his garden would be 5 over 2 by the length of 12. Okay. All right. I think we'll stop there. That's probably a long enough video. So keep studying, working different problems that you can find. It's just important. Okay. Why are we doing this? Okay, we're trying to build a better tomorrow and do that through math. So study, 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 learn the rules, keep practicing. Okay, that's all for now, and we'll talk to you next time. Thanks.